Hey you guys, welcome back to For Real Guide. Hope you're all having an absolutely incredible day. And in today's video, we're going to be going over 9 habits that can actually make people dislike you. So you might be pushing people away with the things that you do every single day that you don't even realize. So without further ado, let's get into the most common habits that actually make people dislike you. So the first habit that definitely makes people dislike you more is when you tune out when they are talking. So we've definitely all tuned out a really boring class or lecture before. That's normal. But if you're tuning people out when they're trying to talk to you, they're going to not want to be around you as much because you're signifying to them that you are not the person to go to when they need someone to listen to them. If you're constantly distracted by things going on around you or your phone, you might want to reconsider what you're paying attention to. Because communication is the foundation for any relationship, friendships, romantic, even family. And communication goes both ways, speaking and listening. The second habit that makes people not like you is always being negative. People generally like to be around positive, happy things. Even subconsciously, people will walk away or engage in things less when they're super negative or pessimistic. So you might be trying to be relatable or talk about your problems a lot, confide in friends, but your negativity might be turning people away from you. The third habit that gets people to like you less is if you're constantly bragging. Don't get me wrong, it's always good to tell your friends and people about your successes if you're super happy about it. But if you're constantly bragging about all these amazing things that have happened to you, it could come across as pretty competitive. And people might even start to look inwardly to themselves and think, hey, I haven't achieved some of those things, and feel bad about themselves. They'll start to associate hanging out with you as a constant one-up session and feel negatively about their own existence. The fourth habit that is making people not like you so much is not smiling. Smiling is so much more impactful than you think it is. It doesn't necessarily have to be just our reaction to when something good happens. If you start smiling more around people, especially when they're telling you something about themselves, a story, whatever, it signifies to them just a general feeling of happiness and positivity. When people see other people smiling, it naturally makes them want to smile. And so if you're making someone else smile with your smile, they're going to associate you with happiness and joy and positivity. So the fifth habit that is making people like you less is having a weak handshake. Having a weak, limp handshake is a terrible first impression. It could cause someone to not want to continue the conversation with you or even speak to you again. Having a confident demeanor and a firm handshake is absolutely important if you want people to continue to talk to you. The sixth habit that gets people to not like you is if you interrupt them when they're speaking. It might feel like you're just trying to be a good conversationalist when you keep interjecting about your own points. However, if someone's trying to talk to you, open up to you, tell you a story, they're expecting you to listen with open ears. And when you're constantly giving your own advice or, talking about a certain time when the same thing happened to you, it can come across as that you don't really care about what that person is saying. And people are going to like you much more if they know that you are a quality listener and that you're not going to constantly be one-upping them or giving them unsolicited advice. The seventh habit that gets people to not like you as much is being closed-minded. People generally like open-minded people because that means that they are easygoing and they're not going to be as judgmental or opinionated on everything that you're trying to tell them. If you're constantly shutting down someone's ideas as they're explaining them to you, they're obviously not going to want to come to you with certain topics anymore or even talk to you ever again. And even if you agree with that person, but you're super closed-minded and opinionated on other topics when you guys talk about things, then they might start to internalize and say, hey, if that person's really closed-minded and opinionated about XYZ, then when I try to bring up a certain topic, they're definitely going to shut me down, which is going to deter people from talking to you and liking you. The eighth habit that makes people like you less is dishonesty. We've all heard the phrase, honesty is the best policy. And when it comes to making friends or getting people to like you, this is absolutely true. Nobody likes being lied to and being deceived. Even if you're just saying little white lies here and there, making them excuses why you can't hang out with people, if they catch on, they're not going to want to be around you as much because nobody likes to be deceived. The ninth and final habit that makes people like you less is not making eye contact. Looking people in their eyes as you're talking to them, or especially as they're talking to you, is a signifier that you're engaged in what they're saying. If you're constantly darting your eyes around the room when they're talking to you, they might think that you don't want to listen to them. And as we discussed earlier, being a good listener is a great way to get people to like you. Well, there you guys have it. Those are 9 bad habits that are making people like you less. Now, I always say it's important to not be a people pleaser, to be your authentic self. That being said, not doing these 9 habits is not making you a less authentic version of yourself. It's just making you a better version of yourself. Being more socially aware, a better listener, is going to make you a better friend. It's going to make people trust you more, open up to you more. And I guarantee you're going to have a lot better conversations when you look into these 9 habits and try to fix them. So I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Make sure to like and subscribe if you liked this video so I know to make more like this and so you're constantly informed when I do release a new video. And be sure to comment below which ones you didn't realize you were doing or which ones you definitely need to work on, or even any other pieces of advice that you have for me that you would like me to share with other people. All right, I'll see you in the next one.